how important are qualifications? And if I may add something again on this is qualified and non-qualified certification. For example, we saw that Google launched his university, and also the level of knowledge you can get at the university is on debate. So qualification like Google Analytics or HubSpot content marketing or a lot of different platforms offers qualification for free. How do you value them? And if, of course, you value them. Tom, can you start first, please?
Yeah, sure. So I think it's definitely changed, hasn't it? You know, over the last 20 years, let's say, that it used to be the case if you've got an academic degree from a very good university, that would open a lot of doors and often get you into that business. I think nowadays, from my perspective, I see if someone's done an academic degree that's relevant, you know, in a directly relevant subject such as marketing, that gives me something to talk about and explore. But I don't expect to any extent that it proves the person can be the best in that job, you know, because it's about what other skills do they bring, what's their personality like, what's their attitude to work like. I think I'd describe an academic qualification as useful, valuable, and potentially, you know, some of that knowledge is going to be applied by that candidate right through their career. But if a person doesn't have that academic qualification, I think there's other ways they can prove, you know, that they've got very useful skills. And I think now more than ever, there's a plethora of courses, whether that's from someone like Google or whether it's through LinkedIn. You know, there's easy online courses that we can, by easy I mean affordable or free, you know, that we can do very quickly. I think for me, professional qualifications such as the CIM are equally as important, because they'll tell me that someone has done the theoretical side of marketing. And again, if someone hasn't got that, it's not necessarily a disadvantage, but the candidate who has that will be able to converse on different points of the marketing discipline. I see one of my roles as a line manager and maybe a leader of a marketing department to make sure that everyone is constantly developing their knowledge and constantly learning. And, you know, I would regard that I'm constantly learning all the time. So I think that attitude and ability to learn and take on new knowledge is more important than someone having a degree and saying, I've got a degree in marketing. That's it. But, you know, I think there's different pathways. You know, experience can be equally as valuable. So I keep a balanced mind, and, you know, I see a good case for lots of different pathways into a career.
If I can expand on that, I have similar views as Tom. I would say, you know, picking up on the last point that Tom made, I value the trait of curiosity a lot. So to me, having qualifications show that the person is curious and wants to learn more about a certain topic or want to be very proficient about a certain topic. So that gives me a sense that that could be a trait I find in that person, the level of qualifications and interests, professional interest that that person has demonstrated, the candidate has demonstrated over the past few years. However, I have to say that experience, especially for, you know, if you're not at the very beginning of your career, experience could trample that. You know, doing the work is the most important thing at the end, because that's what you will be doing if you work for me. You will be doing the work. So I pay more attention to the roles and the experience and the impact that the person has had in roles, if the candidate has had in roles, rather than the professional qualifications. If people are at the same level and bring, in terms of roles, the same kind of experience, then that professional qualification might give you the extra, you know, kudos to get over the line. That becomes particularly important if you're at the beginning of your career and you don't have a lot of work experience. So that you know, understanding what kind of fields, disciplines, and specialties within marketing are of interest to you, that can come across from the qualifications more than clearly an experience that you haven't had the chance to build yet. Tom, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I think one of the things that I've seen that is particularly impressive is where maybe someone who's seeking to get into a career in marketing, maybe they're in the second year at uni or they're approaching the graduation, you know, is particularly proactive in taking responsibility for their career and is reaching out and networking and looking for opportunities. I think, you know, more than ever over the last few years, we've seen some people who are clearly demonstrating the proactiveness and the determination to forge a career. So I think, you know, if it's someone who hasn't been to university, they're the same things they need to show. So it's about networking, you know, showing, volunteering sometimes, you know, getting things that you can prove out your knowledge and enthusiasm for a marketing career that are very important. And of course, you know, further up the career levels, that remains important. You know, if increasingly, if we're speaking to someone about a new job, they're looking for a candidate to go the extra mile, you know, maybe bring something to the conversation that's unique. Maybe that's research they've done before the job, or maybe it's something where they've taken extra time to look at a company website and come up with a suggestion. So there's all of these things that just show an enthusiasm and an ability to work hard and get results. And I think, you know, that's somewhat agnostic of academic qualifications or professional qualifications even.